Welcome, chums! I hope you're all suitably rested after the Easter holidays. We're back in Lothric for more Dark Souls 3. We're in the Catacombs of Carthus, where there's all sorts of horrible things going on. Someone wants to be summoned. Not today, chum. We're going to do some exploring. Maybe when the boss time comes. Okay. Let's get back straight into it. As you'll remember, we spent a while delving around through the unpleasantries of Carthus. Missed a couple of items here, which I will now go and grab. So we've got another ball of bones rolling backwards and forwards here, generally making a bit of a nuisance of itself. There's those two chappies patrolling around here, which we don't want to mess with, but I do want to grab that item there. And I am gonna peg it back to the fire just before he gets a bit too lippy. Just reset things. So we grabbed those two items that we ran past in the last episode. We're gonna venture further into the catacombs, up to a point where we have a choice to make as to where we want to go. Now I do believe we have to wait for that ball of bones to come rolling back in the other direction, otherwise it's going to crush us firmly in the face. And we're going to run this way and let it, ouch, damage them rats. Bloody hell, that was close. So one of the things I did, oh hello, I did realise I was missing out on in the last video was my miracle healing. I managed to totally be forgetting about that. So what's my current goals regarding levelling? Well, I'm intending to work on getting my faith up to around about 20, because I have a miracle, if we can see it, yeah, the lightning spear, which requires 20 faith, so 2 more levels and I'm there, but that's a nice offensive miracle. Not offensive in the way that it calls you a bastard or something like that, because that would be a bit offensive, but offensive, hello, you, in the way that it actually damages enemies, whereas most of the other miracles that we've been using up until now have been passive miracles, which have been healing, debuffing miracles. So we're going to watch out for slimes down here, like that one there. Not ideal using a sword against these guys. If you have something fire-based, that's your better bet. In fact, we do have a fire-based weapon, don't we? We have our fire scythe, which would be handy. Now, I think I'm going to, if I arm my bow and arrow, I am going to go over my weight. So, what I don't want to do is get those bone wheel skeletons onto me, because they are nasty buggers. I'd quite like to get some of these slimes down from the roof. I'm not sure how well my scythe would handle skeletons. I don't really want to be jumped on by the slimes. So let's go back to the old Astoria for a bit. I don't think there's any slimes near. Let's get the skeletons to come. Tackle them. So yeah, so the bone reel skeletons you want to watch out for, because they have a tendency to pin you in a corner and gut you with the big spikies on their wheels, which of course isn't anyone's idea of a good time. But we're just going to grab the hello. I won't worry about you for the minute, but I will worry about you. We're just going to clear them out of this area before we tackle the slimes. So of course we are now just over a month out from the release of Dark Souls Remastered on only PS4 and Xbox One for the time being. The Switch version has been delayed to a as yet unspecified summer release window, which of course isn't particularly fun for anyone who's planning on picking it up for Switch. But over the last few weeks there has been some videos from some events starting to emerge now. Bunch of slimes waiting to drop. And it's shaping up to be very tasty. It's running at 60 frames a second on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And if you've got either of the Pro consoles, the X and the PS4 Pro, then you can enjoy some 4K goodness on those. Obviously the PC version will handle... Oh! Bugger off! PC version will handle those kind of resolutions by default, as it has pretty much always done with the first Dark Souls. But of course, one of the benefits of the remaster version on PC is that the netcode isn't going to be all knackered to hell, and also that the multiplayer is going to see a significant boost, with up to 6 people being able to play in multiplayer, which is going to be a very nice addition to the game. So what I'm trying to do now is just lure these slimes down from the roof so I can tackle them with a more efficient fire weapon. Obviously, as you saw, they do like falling on your head while you're grabbing items, which isn't fun. I'm sure there was another one around there somewhere. I don't trust slimes. There he is. Oh, you sneaky, snotty little shit. I find it all. Right. So, Carthus is either our last or our penultimate underground gloom area before we head up into a nice bright place, depending on how you tackle things. What's down here? I can't remember. Because there is. Oh, okay. Hello. So we got another. Oh, it's Fugs. It's Fugs. So this guy has a Fume Ultra Great Sword, which isn't a particularly... Oh, stop hitting me with your shield! Which isn't a particularly nice weapon unless you're wielding it, obviously. Oh, that seems to be pretty effective against him. Try and avoid getting hit though. Oh, it does a lot of damage. That charge though does seem to be staggering him, which is nice. You bastard. I'm all out of juice. Oh, he's dead. Whew. That was a bit tense, however. We've got the Night Slayer's ring and the My Thanks gesture. Now, what does that give us? Because you do meet him later in the game again, and if you defeat him, you get the Fume Ultra Greatsword. Enemies lose more stamina when guarding attacks. Let's put our new gesture in play. What does My Thanks look like? It looks like that. Yeah, we'll leave it off. We'll leave it off. So yeah, so if you defeat him later in the game, you do get the Fume Ultra Greatsword, which is pretty decent. It's got, if you're a strength build. Now, I am actually going to Homeward Bone, back to the shrine, go and level up a little bit, because I'm a little bit paranoid about losing my shit. And I'll see you back down in the catacombs. Okay, so here we are back in the catacombs, having just popped back, leveled my faith up a notch. Now I've got a full quota of healing aid as well, of Lucozade and my Estus flask. So we've got a chappie down there. One of those throwing knife speedy buggers. As we, with the sickle swords, as we know, those guys are not fun, but I might be able to get the drop on him. He says, "Let's see, shall we?" No. Did take him down a fair decent amount though, still. There we go. Bit of Titanite and the Kukiri. So, now, in we go into the depths of Carthus. No, stop running away from me! So across that bridge is our next location, and we won't want to be going there just yet. Knock him off the edge, which is always good fun. So we've got a couple of choices now. If we knock the bridge down, we can go down there to the I want to say Demon Ruins, but I know full well that that's Dark Souls 1. That's not the Demon Ruins down there, but it is some kind of demon city, which is about as funny as a kick in the teeth. What's up this way? I think this is the way we came, isn't it? But it has some good loot. It's an optional side area. Now, our first playthrough, I actually did that fairly late on into the game. Where does this bring us? Oh! Oh! It brings us to an area where something tries to kill us. So let's just juice up and let's have a look up there again, shall we? Now that's another hat guy, so he's the one controlling that. So what goodies are in that particular... Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? Die. Are in that particular bone ball, I wonder. So that's the other side of our bonfire. Our bonfire's over there. Oh! Bugger! Right, I'll meet you back there. Oh, cock. Bloody hell! There's one up there as well. So, after much deliberation, I have decided not to bother going up those stairs. Might pop back there later and see what other goodie item was up there, but for the minute I'll largely ignore it. Basically because I've just lost a tidy amount of souls to Slice McGee up there, and it's annoyed me. So we're just going to ignore him. We're going to ignore him and all his chums, and you know, they can enjoy whatever party it is that I was repeatedly crashing up there. And we're going to head over this way. And go and find the next bonfire. Maybe tackle the boss. Who knows? We shall see. Perhaps if Slice McGee round 2 here doesn't decide that he wants to give me a new rip me a new one. Anyway. Right, so there was something up there. I'm not sure what it was. It's possibly not of great importance. So I will go and tackle that later. Bye! Off you go! See you soon! Now, I seem to remember... Yeah, there's a bunch of skelly-wobs round here. Now don't go over the bridge, book it up here, and tackle them. As they come to you. So like I say, that bridge It's basically a one-way ticket if you head over there. I think all the skeletons reanimate and swamp you, and you have a horrible time of it. So instead, come this way. You can find a familiar, sorrowful figure up here. It's poor Henri.
Have you seen Horace anywhere?
No,
yes,
no.
I see. I've searched high and low with no luck. Perhaps he's left the catacomb. Oh, Horace, where have you run off to?
Poor Horace.
Oh, Horace, have you abandoned me?
I say nothing. I've got nothing to say. We haven't seen Horace. We don't know where he might have gone to. So, over the other side of the bridge, what we can do is knock it down, and we then have an option, once it's settled down a bit, we should have an option to climb down, and that takes us down to, I keep wanting to say, the Demon Ruins. It's not Ash Lake, it's not Demon Ruins, they're all Dark Souls 1 areas, but it's something similar. It's a big demon-y area of demonness, but we'll come back to that later. For now, I'm going to come in here. I don't think there's any enemies. He says. But we do have a cup, a goblet. And what that goblet does is it's going to take us to the boss. So I'm going to pop an ember, and we're going to see if there's any chums wanting to do the gelée cooperation with your boss man. I don't know whether you can get co-op going with this boss, because you touch the cup and you're teleported into the boss area. But let's see if there's anyone throwing down a bit of the old summon sign. Anyone out here? Maybe by the bridge. Okay, so looks like we might be on our own with this one. I do think that there might well be a bonfire not far down there, which could be beneficial to us, but let's see. Let's go for Billy Boss. Now this boss, I do believe, does dark damage, and he has an area attack which does dark damage. So how are we looking for our curse? This was fairly decent curse protection, if I remember. I think we can do better on our head, so go for the old maidenhood. And we're Assassin's Creed cosplaying, sort of, ish, maybe, from a certain point of view now. So, fashion. Gentlemen and ladies and chums. Fashion. Right. It's time to go and take on High King Wolnir. And here we are. Now this guy is a bit intimidating. Because he can push you up into the back wall of this arena. What we need to do is we need destroy the bracelets on his wrists, and that will do big damage, kind of like our fight Oh, and he's got a big sword. I've forgotten about his big sword attack. Kind of like our fight with the Curse Rotted Greatwood, he has... Oh shit. He has damage points. Which we need to focus on. Shit, no. Back up. Don't get that dark crap on you. Oh, get up. Shit. This is him waking his skellies up, I believe. Stop! Lifting your hand up. Now it should be sword time. Yeah, here comes the sword. You can, use that to your advantage, because it will damage the skeletons. Now he gets rid of it. And now he summons it again. Great. And he's gone. Woo! Wolnir is toast. There he goes. Beautiful. So now we get taken back to here, and we do have a bonfire. There we go, bonfire lit. Wolnir is dead, and the path is open up ahead. Up there. So we now have two choices. We can go all the way up there to Irithyll, or we can come back down here to the demon place, but I still can't remember where it is. But for the minute, it's filing time, because we have enough now to level up and get our lightning miracle. So I'm just going to go and do that, and let's have a quick look at what Wolnir's soul can get us. I'm quite pleased with how that boss fight went. Not bad at all.
Aha, Balgret. So,
Right, what are you going to give us for Wolnir's soul? Black Serpent, that's a pyromancy. Or Wolnir's Holy Sword. That is a great sword. Scales on strength. Yeah. No, I'm not fussed with either of those. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to level up, get my lightning on, and we'll see you in the next episode, my good chums. For now, farewell.